What is good, Ninja? OG over here from PlayerEssence, and welcome to the Nintendo Switch and gaming news video. And today we've got some massive rumors going down. Although some of this stuff is obviously going to come that we're going to talk about, we just kind of get more of a timetable of when it's going to go down. And then there's also some kind of really big stuff that I'll talk about as well, but isn't directly said. So let's just go ahead and get into this first as far as the rumors go. So according to a dude, I guess from NeoGaf, the resurrected NeoGaf, and his name is Electric Blanket Fire, and this was posted recently, and he says, "I've left clues to new game announcements for years." So here's what he has to say. I'd like to say things like, quote, "I bet we get insert game here in threads just prior to announcements, since I probably won't be around much longer. Might as well give whatever knowledge / hints I have left." So here's what he has to say. A sequel to a 3DS game is coming to Switch. Remember what was said about new character inclusion for Smash. Netflix, but not Hulu, are coming in Q1 2018. Announcement will be tied with Netflix produced show. Themes will arrive with December 25th update. Free if you own the game or amiibo. So December 25th update. Free themes if you own the game or amiibo, otherwise you'll have to buy them. Metroid Prime 4 will have a subtitle that people know. Q4 at the earliest, first footage in January Nintendo Direct. Interesting. Now, Little Mac was almost in arms. There's a reason he's not. A new spin-off is coming exclusively to the eShop using assets from a game already released. So all of this is very interesting, and shoutouts to Cartridge Games on Twitter for sharing this as well. He gave his own predictions, which I'll leave a link to in the description below, and a lot of the stuff that he says makes sense if this is to be believed. Once again, take it with a grain of salt, but like I said, this stuff like Netflix and stuff like, you know, themes and things like Metroid Prime 4 with the subtitle, this is stuff that, like, we already know is going to come. We already know themes are coming because Nintendo has a theme selector in the options. We already know Netflix is coming because Reggie said Netflix is going to come. That stuff will come. So it's not like this stuff is like, oh my gosh, like there's no way, you know. So some of the stuff that I want to talk about, though, is the beginning. So he says, a sequel to a 3DS game is coming to Switch. Remember what was said about inclusion in Smash. So this can only be one game that I can possibly think of, and that is Kid Icarus Uprising. So thank me in advance. No, I'm joking. But this could be Kid Icarus Uprising. And the reason why a sequel to a 3DS game, Kid Icarus Uprising is possibly the only 3DS game Nintendo has made that has ties to Super Smash Bros. That would be feasible, in my opinion. I can't think of any other 3DS game that Nintendo's produced that also has a character in Smash Brothers that would be getting a sequel. And Kid Icarus Uprising was one of the most notable 3DS games because still to this day, it's one of the best looking and most ambitious 3DS games ever released. Like, for what they were trying to do, especially back then, and that was developed by Masahiro Sakurai, and with the whole things about Sakurai potentially not developing another Super Smash Bros. Game, maybe he's working on Kid Icarus for the Nintendo Switch. So if this is to be true, because we don't know if it is, but I would guess that that game is Kid Icarus Uprising for the Nintendo Switch, or like a Kid Icarus Uprising 2, or just a Kid Icarus game in general, a brand new title. So some form of Kid Icarus game for the Nintendo Switch. What do you guys think that it could be? Now, moving on, Netflix, but not Hulu, coming Q1. I mean, this is to be expected. I talked about maybe them doing Netflix and all that once their online gets going. So yeah, that's something that I would expect to happen. Now, this one's also interesting too with themes with the December 25th update. That is a very particular date in order to have the themes, maybe Christmas, whatever the case is. I'm not really sure, but it would be super dope if you have the game or the amiibo and you get the theme for free. That's something Nintendo didn't even do on the 3DS. So I am not sure about that. I would have thought that would be very similar to the Nintendo 3DS, to where if you want a theme, you can basically get some of them for free on the Nintendo reward programs, but then most of them you're going to have to buy. It would just be weird if Nintendo just decided to give them away, although it would be a welcome change, trust me. I would love for themes just to be given away. Now, there is some precedence in this because every single 3DS doesn't have the amiibo amiibo NFC, so maybe Nintendo decided not to do free themes or amiibo-based themes on 3DS, considering that a lot of people don't have an amiibo reader and nobody bought that stupid dongle for the Nintendo 3DS, so maybe that's one of the reasons why. But they still could have done it with games, but maybe it was a technical limitation because it was added way after this whole thing, whereas themes are something that was pretty much from the beginning thought of on the Switch. Since you were able to switch your theme, unlike the 3DS, you were never able to switch it. So maybe Nintendo revamps exactly how themes are going to be done when it comes to monetization wise, and this could possibly give people more incentive to buy amiibo. So I'd be completely down with that if they decided to do themes with the game or with the amiibo. I think PlayStation does that sometimes as well, but I just don't think that it's going to be free for every single one. There's probably going to be some exceptions here and there, but if it's not, then that'd be really cool. Now, as far as this whole thing with Little Mac and ARMS, I would expect Nintendo to, yeah, maybe put Little Mac as a secret character. They put DK in Punch-Outs, so why wouldn't they put Little Mac in ARMS? But they said there's a reason why he's not in there, and I would think, based on what this next thing said, a new spin-off is coming exclusively to the eShop using assets of a game already released. Maybe it's assets from ARMS, and then it's a game starring Little Mac with the same engine that ARMS runs on. That's the only thing that I can think of. So maybe you just make that an eShop game, and you kind of just downscale it a bit, you use the assets, so there's really not a lot of risk as far as that goes. If you're already using the engine that ARMS runs on, and you already have an established base, and it's an eShop game as well, but we'll have to wait and see on all of that. On to the finale here, the first footage of Metroid Prime 4 in a January Direct. Nintendo did things big with the Nintendo Switch presentation in January, so I would expect them to have another big presentation in January as well, or some type of Nintendo Direct. That's something that Nintendo has done for years. I remember back in January of 2013, Nintendo had a massive presentation with Xenoblade, with Tokyo Mirage Sessions, with Zelda, and so many other games. So maybe that can come again with the Nintendo Switch in 2018, but we're gonna supposedly get the first footage of Metroid Prime 4 then, with the subtitle that we'll remember or something like that, and then Q4 at the earliest, but we'll have to wait and see on that one. Am I expecting Metroid in 2018? Yes, I did predict that I thought Metroid would be 2018, so we'll have to wait and see if I'm right on that one or not. So what do you guys think about all of these rumors here? What are your predictions or your guesses for these here? And once again, remember, take it with a grain of salt for right now as far as some of this stuff, but some of these things are going to come, obviously, with the themes and I think the Netflix and all that. But it did say Netflix produced show, and a Netflix show could be like something Nintendo's trying to do. Nintendo did say that they're trying to get into more animation. They did say that they're trying to get into more of the showbiz line of things. And when it comes to it, we've seen what they're doing with the Universal and the theme parks. We've seen lots of stuff that Nintendo has just been kind of mixing into. So would a Netflix show based on Zelda be something that could possibly happen, especially after all those rumors, even though Nintendo denied? Absolutely, I definitely think it could be. And then it's just interesting because they said no Hulu, so maybe Nintendo's trying to push Netflix more. What would be the incentive of Nintendo pushing Netflix more or having that first? Could there be some type of deal that they're working on or something like that? To me, it sounds like the new Nintendo as far as getting into this. So I don't think it's too much of a stretch that we could see that as far as the Zelda show for Netflix, and also a Q1 2018 launch for Netflix, and maybe some other media type of apps as well. Alright guys, that basically wraps it up for this video here. Let me know what you guys think about all of these rumors here, and out of all the stuff that we discussed today as far as all these rumors here, because remember they are rumors, what do you feel is the most likely to happen? When do you feel Metroid will actually come out? What do you think this mysterious 3DS Switch sequel will be? Do you feel it will be Kid Icarus? Are there any other games that you're thinking? So out of everything that we talked about, what do you feel is the most likely to happen when it comes to Nintendo? Although they are unpredictable, what do you feel is the most likely, and how do you think it will go down when it comes to all these different things here? Do you feel there's going to be a Nintendo Direct? Let me know about that in the comment section below. Alright Ninja, that wraps it up for this video here. Go ahead and check out the links in the description below. We've got Facebook, we've got Twitter. Go ahead and give us a like and a follow on our social media. Really helps us spread the content of PlayerEssence across the interwebs in addition to YouTube. Also, make sure you check out our Patreon page. Pledge any tier, be entered in to win some awesome prizes. Plus, we have Discord voice chat and prized eShop tournaments. Also, make sure you check out our brand new YouTube live gaming page and consider sponsoring PlayerEssence. When you do so, it works very much like Twitch, so you can earn custom themed emotes for the chat. It also gets you entered into my friends list to participate in tournaments. So check out the link in the description below and consider sponsoring PlayerEssence right here on YouTube Gaming Live. Also, make sure you hit that like button if you did like this video. Lets me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future. And subscribe to PlayerEssence for the latest RPG, Japanese, and Nintendo gaming news. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you ninja for the next video. Peace.